You found Stryker of Enyo, and the following is an excerpt from my main video, I Play Every Xbox Live Arcade Game Part 2, which is a massive 3.5-hour experience that I encourage you to check out if you like what you see here. This version was rendered at nearly 2 to 3 times the bitrate of the original. Castlevania: Harmony of Despair. This was the last of the Castlevania series Koji Igarashi would work on before leaving Konami entirely in 2014. Castlevania: Harmony of Despair allows up to 6 people to play together using online co-op. Any footage featuring multiplayer is not mine. I didn't have access to other players, but I wanted to show you what it looks like. Explore the levels with your friends in order to find hidden locations with special items and equipment in what has been best described as an expanded boss rush mode. You can team up in battle to overwhelm the multitudes of attacking creatures or tackle individual tasks in groups and then meet up at the boss. It's pure chaos and incredibly fun when playing with a group. This game is a little hard to get into. It's designed to be played with 2 or more players, and all you're doing is rushing to the location of the boss to kill it. There are multiple characters to pick from, and a level system of sorts. Some characters you can level up their sub-weapons, but others need to find and equip better weapons. You can play it by yourself, and many have, but leveling up takes time and you don't do much damage with the starting clothing or equipment. Without the frantic multiplayer, it can feel rather lonely, like you're missing out on a big part of the game. Even if you have friends to play with, the content available can feel kinda slim. You realize the game only came with 6 missions, and you'll be completing certain chapters repeatedly to grind to max out your sub-weapon XP or to farm for rare items. Ooh boy, we got a game with a large number of mixed reviews, but a small number of positive reviews. We got a Castlevania experience here that is above average as a single-player experience, but it's so close to being a good game, you might still find a hidden gem for yourself. What about me? Harmony of Despair is a gratifying experience that can be addicting even when playing alone. I really love diving in to farm for more money, getting better items, and upgrading my sub-weapons for certain characters. I started ranking up 2 more characters, but after nearly 4 hours of playing, I needed to kind of move on to other games, so I couldn't keep going. I love the way it plays. Attacking enemies feel good, the combat has a little bit of nuance to it, and it's great finding out new paths to try, but everything kind of moves slow when you're by yourself. I really got hooked, but it seems like there just might be a little bit too much grinding. I give it a 6 out of 10. If you have a group to play, then it's easily a 7 out of 10. A multiplayer Metroidvania-style game is a relatively novel idea, and it does well on delivering this concept to a downloadable-only game. It's not a bad game, and it's backwards compatible, so everything is still available. And to be fair, they made a version of a game for you to try out that's only $15. They released more content the following year. I've seen some immediately call these microtransactions, and though this is kinda true, many of us just saw it as more downloadable content for those that wanted it. They added 13 more pieces of content, 5 more missions, 6 more characters, and 2 more music packs. Sure, if you were to buy this all, it would run you an additional $35 US, not including the price of the game. But I liked what I played so far, and I have plans on buying a few of the additional maps and characters. Get a few friends together, and you might just find a nice little time waster for a few weekends.
Return to darkness!
Castlevania: Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate HD. Developed by Mercury Steam, a Spanish game studio located in Madrid, the 3DS and Windows version launched in March of 2013, while the consoles got a version 7 months later. On the 3DS, its design works rather well, but on the consoles, you put it in direct competition with a large number of excellent XBLA games and PSN titles. This is still the best version of Mirror of Fate, but it also suffers from a bit of lazy design. The presentation is good, with voice dialogue and animated cutscenes that work well, but several aspects of being originally designed on a handheld become obvious flaws. Constantly switching between the 4 playable characters on a handheld makes sense to keep things fresh, but on a console it's rather annoying because once you start to get a feel for a character, it switches to another. There is no single large overall map with branching pathways. Instead, you go through much smaller chapters in a very linear way. Now, there is still some room to explore, like some small hidden rooms, or there might be a new ability that you need to get before you can have access to certain parts of the map, like these grappling points early on in the game. But you will solve these before you leave, because once you finish a chapter, it's on to the next. You can't backtrack to a previous area in case you missed something, which means the player will often just keep pushing forward. The combat has combos, blocking, and you can even time your block to stagger, but simple button mashing will often get you through most fighting. Rolling away has you holding left trigger and using the analog stick, a combination that I didn't feel comfortable to do, so I didn't use it much. But do you see what I mean when I was inferring that it's not designed very well? It's not just that the game is missing a large map, or that you have to constantly switch between characters, or that the combat is bad all by itself. It's the overall design that really hinders having fun, especially if you have been playing the more open-ended games in the series. 6 out of 10, above average. There are way better games of this same style on XBLA, like Shadow Complex. This game is still slightly better than Harmony of Despair, but not by much. It's worth checking out for the story alone, which ties nicely to the Castlevania lore and with the two Lords of Shadow titles. Would you like to know more? Did you like the video you just watched? Then leave a comment, even give me a like. Then head to my channel for more. I got several series like Rage Quit 2, How the F Did I Die, and I even have a playlist for everything related to the I Play Every Xbox Live arcade game. You'll find all the parts, including higher bitrate versions of certain segments and eventually audio commentaries. If you want to see what I'm currently working on, then check the community tab on my channel, it's just right here. This is where I give occasional updates on what I'm working on and mention what's coming up next. If you want to watch the main video where this segment came from, then it should be showing up right about now, on the upper left side of the screen. The playlist for the entire series will be on the lower right. Thank you for any watch time that you can spare. The response to the series has been very positive, so thank you all.